You did the intro already. I want to see what it looks like.
No, I didn't do the intro yet. And yeah, I'm trying to cut this intro for them right now. And it's gonna be about your first 100,000. But what do you need? Matter of fact, come on in, come in. This is so hard when you raising a family and you got a small studio. But she's my lovely daughter. And yeah, you wanna say hello?
Hi.
And what you need?
I need a chair.
You need a chair so you can play with your slime, correct?
Yeah, because I was playing on the table.
Okay, all right. So, yeah. Sorry about that. But, yeah. I get a lot of questions about how I was able to go from a prison cell to being worth over $600,000 in 5 short years. To some people, 5 years is a long time, but in the scheme of things, it's really not. And I'm gonna tell you about my strategy that's proven, worked on. I've been tweaking this thing for the past 5 years and it works. And I'm just gonna lay it all on you in today's video. Stick around. It's Carpe Diem. What? Blackie, you fat as hell. Look how fat this cat is. Say hi, Black. The family's pet. All right. Okay. I know she wants to be your friend. She is? Okay, that's cool. Okay, we're back. And yeah, this strategy of mine I've been working on for a minute. I like to call it the Ashy the Classy. I'm actually gonna make a course coming out, call it the Ashy the Classy course, because it works so darn well. You know, I said this in my previous videos. I was a dusty dude. I was a jailbird. I used to sit on the stoop, which is $5 in my pocket, and just be looking at cars drive past. Like, where is my life going? I didn't have no direction or none of that, right? And what I discovered, let me go back. The first opportunity I had was a job. And this is why I call it the Ashy the Classy, and it's for the average individual. It's not no get rich quick. That's why I say 5 years. It's not no overnight, boom, you're already rich. We're gunning for this first. We're gonna gun for your first 100,000 and beyond, right? So while I was sitting there on the stoop with just $5 in my pocket, on parole and all that good stuff, the first opportunity I had was a decent paying job. Like, I put in so many applications at so many places and people wouldn't even touch me because I was fresh out the pen. I gotta throw a shout out to Cisco, aka Sigma Network. I was picking cases in a warehouse here in Pennsylvania, and they gave me my first shot. I thanked them for that, and I think it started me out at like $14 an hour, and I took that. I took that and I grew just with that little bit amount. Now here's what I did. As I'm bringing in them checks, now this is not gonna be easy. I'm gonna tell you now. If you want the results, it's like working out. A lot of people don't want to go to the gym, but they want the results from the gym. And building wealth is the same way. Okay, so I started out with a job. I was only getting paid starting out at $14 an hour, and I was working a lot of overtime. I had my kids, I had responsibilities out the ass, right? So once I started working this job, I would talk to the other older guys who was on the job for like, they've been there like 10, 15, 20 years, and I just hear them talk like, yeah. My mortgage this, I got a boat over here, my other house over here, me and the wife is doing this, taking this trip, and my 401k is looking like this. And it was just words that I never heard really. It wasn't what I was used to. And I just started asking these guys questions like, how you get a house, how'd you get your 401k to look like that? What are you doing? And stuff like that. I had this one mentor, a Spanish brother, and he basically was like, yo, dude, you need to get your credit right. And at the time, my credit was shot. I did some school, went to school before I got locked up, and it's like a thing out here where I'm at to go to school, get them student aid money, cash it out, and then go re-up and buy some type of narcotic or something, some type of drug. So I did that, but then I eventually got locked back up. So my credit was shot. I think I owed student loans, I owed cable bill, I owed cell phone bill, electricity bill, etc., etc. And so, boom, I had the job, but then I also owed a lot of debt. So what my Spanish brother told me was, yo, dude, holla at Lexington Law. Me and my wife use them all the time. They're wonderful. They did wonders for us, and I highly recommended them. So I was like, okay. I forgot how much I was making. It was probably like 500, 600, maybe 700 on a good week per week. And so what I would do is I called Lexington Law up. I was like, yo, I want you to repair my credit for me. And at the time they was like, we doing 16 negative remarks per month for like $100. And so I looked at my credit report. I was like, man, I only got like 5, 6. So it should only take like a month, maybe 2 max, to get all my negatives off. So hey, close the door, please. Okay, so it should take like a month to 2 max to get all the negatives off my credit. So I was like, I'm gonna give myself a $300 budget just for my credit repair while I'm still working this job. So I called them up, set everything up with them. They got to work immediately. Boom. I started seeing all types of results within 30 days with Lexington Law. And I'm not being sponsored by them or in any way. But yeah, they got everything off except for the student loans. The student loans is really hard for them to get off because it's government. The government is like, nah, fam, we ain't having that, right? So I was like, thank you, Lexington Law. You did the best you can do. It was like 3 months, $300. I canceled them out, but my credit went up a little bit more. So what they did tell me is like, yo, look, just call up the student loan people and Just see what you can do. See what they can do for you. What type of programs they got for you. And because on my credit report, it showed that I was like 3-4 years, or what was it, like 2 years plus without paying them. So that made my payment history look like crap. Long story short, I called them up and stuff, and I was like, yo, what can you do for me? This happened to me. That's why I wasn't able to pay. And the lady was like, yo, I'm not supposed to, I don't, tell anybody this, but we got programs. One is called like On Track program, or the rehab program, where you can turn, it's called the rehab program, where you can turn all that negative student loan credit into good student loan credit. So that 2 years that I didn't pay them actually turned into good government credit. And I was like, how the hell can we do that? And it was like, the rehab program goes like this. You owe this amount, and in order to get that back in good standing, we usually charge you like $5 a month for 9 months straight. And I was like, 9 months straight. I said, well, I can do that easily. Got the job now, making okay money. Sign me up. They signed me up. I paid them before you knew it. It took a while, but the 9 months went past like that, right? And then came the real payments. It was like $100 to $200 a month, and I just hammered it down. I just fought through it. I didn't want to do it. God knows I didn't want to pay all these, pay them back the money like that, but I knew it was gonna benefit me in the long term. So boom, that was the credit. Because you're gonna, in this system, in order to get to this, I can get y'all can get to this in 2 to 3 years, just 100. But it snowballs and it grows faster and faster as you harness, as you take my ideals, take what I'm about to tell you, add your own twist to it, and build upon it to make whatever you're trying to do go even further. Right, Blackie? All right. So you got the job. The job is the foundation. You need a job for this to work. You need some type of constant income coming in weekly or bi-weekly that you can guarantee count on for this to work, right? Okay. Now, once you got the job, and I don't know if you got good credit, if your credit is jacked up. If your credit is jacked up, holler at Lexington Law. If it's just a credit where you didn't even use it, then I got something for that too. All right. Go to an auntie or uncle. Go to a mom or dad. Anybody you know who's close to you, boyfriend, girlfriend, any type of relative who you know has credit cards and does well by them. You go to them and you say, make me an authorized user on your lines of credit. It immediately will boost your credit up. I'm working on like 3 people's credit right now, and they had 0 credit, and they joints are sitting at like 760 right now. That's white people credit. That's white people credit, okay? So you got the job, you're doing the credit repair. Once you get the credit repair, then you can start acquiring lines of credit. You might start out with $2,000, $4,000, $5,000. Now you got that in the bag. Okay. Now, the next step, this is all in the first 6 months. You're gonna get all this acquired. You're gonna have your credit popping. You're gonna have lines of credit. Remember, acquire the credit. This is important. You might want to write this down. Acquire your credit cards, but never use them. Use them later on when your wealth is built up a little bit. But when you get them, use them that one time, and then don't use them again. I'm telling you, Learn from my mistake. Okay? It's not there. The credit is not there as a spending mechanism. A lot of people would tell you, oh, I can use credit this way. I never use your debit card, use your credit card. But I'm telling you now, get your credit, don't use it, stack them. Just for the short term. Because I'm about to tell you what's going to happen when you do it this way. When you acquire these credit cards and you don't use them, what happens is you get more offers in the mail. More offers in the mail. Your credit going to start going like this because they see you used it that one time, but now they're going to be like, your credit to debt ratio is beautiful. What can we not get? And once you start getting in the game, like you get Discover is going to be like, yeah, you in the game. Then American Express is going to be like, you deal with Discover? That's my man's in them. If you're dealing with Discover, I'll deal with you. And from your credit history, you're not late on no payments because you're not using them. And your payments, everything is up to date. And you're going to start getting these lines of credit. Capital One, American Express, Citibank, Wells Fargo, Bank of America, Chase Bank. Okay? And that's going to add to your net worth. That's going to add to this. Because what you need is the funding. Okay. So we got the job. Getting a guaranteed check every week, bi-weekly. You utilize the check to get your credit right. Now you got a high credit score. Once you get the high credit score, you got the credit funding for whatever you want to do. Coming up next is the business. I'll be right back after this break. Okay. So after you have them tools in place, you got the job, you building your credit, you're acquiring your first credit cards. What I want you to do is take another $500. This is important, and we need to incorporate ourselves. We need to form some type of LLC, and really it don't matter what your company is. Think what you like to do the most, and something special. Name your company after that. You know what I'm saying? Get the bag first, and then we're gonna worry about what your LLC is gonna be later on. Excuse me. What you want to do is get the LLC first, because once you get it, it's like a newborn baby. It's like its own entity with its own social security number and everything. You can go and take your documents and go open up a bank account for this entity, develop credit for this entity, and it's separate from your person. And what the elite do, and and it's fascinating to me, but what the elite teach their young people is to own nothing, control everything. You might have heard this saying before, right? And it basically means I don't own the clothes on my back, I don't own the car that I drive, I don't own the house that I live in. The company owns it all, right? Who owns the company though? It's them. So they say when people are screaming, tax the rich, the rich people literally laugh. Okay, they laugh because they don't have no income, they don't own no possessions, they don't own anything. How you gonna tax them if they don't own anything? And that's deep, right? When I learned that was a major key to my success and to helping me acquire this and beyond. So I was like, okay, I got the foundation. Daughter, what are you doing? Come on, come get on this camera. Because your daddy is trying to do something. Now, what is it you need?
I'm putting the slime back.
You putting the slime back. Do you want to? Okay. You want to grab a seat and film this with me?
Well, not exactly, but
Uh-huh. This is who I do it for. You want to help your daddy film this video?
I guess.
Alright, so hurry up while I talk to him. So yeah, that's what they teach they young people. Own nothing, control everything. So we're gonna get an entity, we're gonna get this LLC. The reason I say $500 is because I like to use LegalZoom. I go on LegalZoom, they make it so very easy to get, and you literally pay like $400 and some change, but everything is done for you. They file the paperwork with the Secretary General of your state. They go to the IRS, get your EIN number, which is the business social security number. They do all that for you. They do all the legwork so you can spend your time concentrating on the bag. So then you get that, you pay that money, like 30 days later, depending on the speed you choose, you'll get a nice envelope, thick one, with all your documents inside, everything from the operating agreement and what the hell, your EIN number, all that good stuff. And then you could then take them documents and then go, I prefer a credit union. And that's the next step after this. Okay. So you got the job, you built your credit, you got your first lines of credit, you got your entity. Now, what I would do is the banking situation. The banking situation and your relationship to the banks is paramount, because the reason I say that and why banks is so important is because banks secretly, when you think outside the box, the banks are your partner. What I mean by that is, I'm from the hood, I'm from poverty, I'm from the ghetto, and if I had an idea and I needed money to turn that idea into a reality, I couldn't go to my aunt, I couldn't go to nobody in the street and be like, yo, loan me $25,000. Or can I get $15,000 to go pick up this new ride to help me get back and forth to work? Nobody has any money right now. It's so hard right now, right? But the banks do. And off that credit score that you just boosted up, now you can get whatever car or loan you want. Just by you not using them lines of credit, but now they starting to stack pile. You know what I'm saying? Now on paper, when they look at your credit score, they be like, hold on, you got this bank, you got Capital One, Discover, and they see you got all of them with your credit utilization so high because you don't use them. Right? They gonna be like, what can we not give you? We can give you whatever you want, Mr. blah, 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 Mrs. such and such, right? So the banks, I highly recommend credit unions. The reason being, credit unions is not for profit. You have the Bank of America, you have the Wells Fargo, and all these banks, they got shareholders, they got they on the stock market. So their whole main purpose is, I gotta reap these profits for my shareholders so our stock can go up. So now when you're using these banks, they hitting you at the ATM fees, they hitting you for this fees, the transfer fees, they hitting you fees all over just so they can show profit on their quarterly statements or their annual statements. Now, the credit unions don't have none of that. The credit unions is like, yo, we a select group of people, okay? You can't really get in the credit union unless you know somebody else who's in there and they bring you in. You know, it's like a secret society. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, okay. When I got into credit union, I started looking at their interest rates. I'm like, yo, the interest rates low as hell. And they giving out money like it's water. Because they are not for profit, they are community based. Okay? And off of that, you go for a loan, they're gonna give it to you, and they literally there to help you build your credit, henceforth credit union. Okay, so that you got your LLC, you go get into a credit union, a decent one. You know, if you can get into Navy Fed, that would be beautiful. Okay, so you get yourself a credit union, you got your LLC, you open up a personal account first, and immediately start direct depositing your money from the job into the credit union, right? Here's one thing I learned about that. The credit unions monitor your checks going into said account. Now, if you got a partial of your direct deposit going in there, they're gonna see that and be like, yo, you know, he don't got a lot of money coming in. Sure, he got or she has some decent credit, but it's really, you know, not a lot of cash flowing through this account. So I highly recommend you go full force, because if you know how I know, you want to have loyalty to those who feed you the most. Okay? Now, but if a bank is taking money from you, I'm not gonna give you all my loyalty when I can come over here to a credit union and they're gonna help me feed my family, and they're gonna help me build my credit, and they're gonna give me that car loan that I need, and they're gonna give me that house loan that I need, and they're gonna help me get to that first 100,000. So that's something you should think about. Okay, so once I figured out, you know, the credit, to get in the LLC, even though I didn't have a operational company at the time. I'm gonna talk about that later, how you can utilize the LLC in a freaking magnificent way, and it's beautiful. Stick around. But you got your LLC, you got the credit union bank, and now you should be Gucci. Because now with your credit score, the money they see coming in from your goddamn job, now you can get whatever you want. But what is it do you want? Okay? Sure, I recommend going to get a small loan, something within your budget, to get an auto loan, because I believe once you have that job and you have that foundation, get into that bag, and you have that job, by all means necessary, you have to secure it. You have to make sure that rain, hail, sleet, or snow, that you can get to that bag. Now, if you don't have a vehicle, I highly recommend you get a small loan from that credit union, like $5,000 to maybe $10,000. Go get you something used but nice. We're not after the extravagant right now. That's gonna come in time. Trust me. So you go get you that guaranteed transportation to that bag, okay? And that's gonna also help you build your credit and your relationship with said credit union, okay? Now, all this works, trust me, on my mother's grave, all this works. I'm telling you, just utilize these steps. If you need to, you can rewind it and listen to this video again. It's them steps. And I literally had $5 in my pocket. No money, 2 kids. They both was 2 at the time. I came home from prison. I went to prison. My kids was in the stomach of their moms, right? I did 2 years upstate. Came home. The moms was like, here you go. I had 2 2-year-old girls that I was like, and that's when it hit me in the stomach. I got to step my game up. I got to stop going to jail. I got to get my life together. And I prayed to God, and he started showing me. And I started asking questions and researching on how and what the wealthy do with their money. Okay? Now, I'm gonna give you this bonus. It's a little bit of a wild card, but I'm gonna lay it on you, and then I gotta cut to editing and edit this video because I do everything myself around here. Okay? So, the wild card is, and I've been using this for 4 or 5 years, is this. Are you tired of taxes? Okay? Taxes is your number one bill for your whole entire year. Taxes take so much money from you that if you could find a way not to be taxed, then you bring home all of your check damn near. Then help you get out of debt more and help you build more assets. Okay? Okay. Now here's the wild card. You got the LLC, right? Now that you have your entity, now you can begin to have tax write-offs how the wealthy do, like how the rich people literally be doing their thing, right? So here's an example. Here's what I'm doing, right? I'm working this job, right? And I tell them not to take any taxes out of my check. That come the end of the year, tax return time, I want to pay taxes. You know what I'm saying? So they're like, a lot of people don't get it. They be scared. They be like, hold on, but you're going to owe the government all this money. I don't want no problems with the government. But it's all legal. Our ex-president Donald Trump did it when he was like, check his tax returns. He's not paying no taxes. And Donald Trump would be like, yeah, every red-blooded American can do the same if you know what I know, if you utilize the tools that were set forth for you in this country. So, point blank, what I do, this is not financial advice, you know what I'm saying? You know, I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just giving you some tips and hacks. Don't sue me, bro, okay? Okay. So, what I do, I got my LLC. I then go to the HR department. How do I tweak my W-4 form or my W-2 form, whatever one it is? They be like, I want to make some adjustments to my dependents. They gonna be like, oh, okay. Either they got it a paper printout or you have to go online to do it. But then I go online and I claim, and I think they switched it up. I just claim exempt on mine. I claim exempt. They still take their state taxes, your Social Security come out, your unemployment come out, the state taxes come out, and that's probably about it. All right, depending on your state and wherever you located at, right? Only thing that doesn't come out is the federal taxes. Okay. So now I'm working all year. Boom, grinding. Credit looking right. Credit card limits going up and up and up, right? I'm driving clean now because I'm utilizing my partnership and my relationship to the credit union, right? Now my checks is looking chunkier. Now I want to do overtime. Now that I'm doing overtime and my check's looking real high, now I'm bringing in majority of that, right? So boom, I work all year, right? Say I make, for number's sake, $50,000 in 1 year. The government's gonna come and be like, yo fam, you owe $17,000 or something, whatever, what's 20% of 50 grand? Say 10 grand I owe them. You know what I'm saying? 10% is 5. You know what I'm saying? Like that. So I owe the government 10 grand. It's my big brother coming in. We call him Fish Fry Nah. Right? So I owe the government 10 grand at the end of the year. Right? But here where the tax write-offs come into effect. If you live in somewhere, you have the LLC, you can claim a home-based business. A lot of gurus talk about it, all right? Look up home-based business. But if you have this LLC and you live somewhere, you could begin your tax write-offs, starting with, your electricity bill, your clothes, your gas, your food, the trips you take. Here's how it works, right? Okay, I owe the government 10 grand, right? So I utilize my home-based business tax write-offs. So when you're doing your taxes, for those of y'all who do their taxes, maybe with a TurboTax or something like that, you know all about this. So everything goes on an annual, yearly basis, right? So first thing I'm writing off is probably my electricity bill. My electricity bill is like 200 some change, 300 some change per month. Times that by 12, that's 3,000 and some change a year. A portion of that home base, say like a quarter of that, is what? If it's $3,000, 3,600. Say they give you $700. They give you $700 off of that electricity bill. That 10,000, bloop, 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 it comes down to 9,300. Move on to the next one. Your food. How much you eat out every year, throughout the whole year. How much money you spend on eating out in the name of your business. If you're like me, you spend a lot, right? I might can rack up easily $2,500 a year. At 93 comes down, blue, 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 8,000. Say $8,000 or something. What? I'm not good at the math right now. 9,300 take away 2,500. You still sitting at 9,000. What? No, you're sitting at 95. 93 take away 25. You're sitting at 9. But you get my drift. God damn, why my brain acting like this? All right, moving on. The Fed just boosted up the mileage for your gas. Now you need transportation to get to and from work, right? So they just gave up 56 cents per mile. The average person drives 10,000 miles a year. Okay? Now, you do 56 cents divided by 10,000. That's 50 cents on the mile here. So that's sitting at like another $5,000 you got right there. Even if it's just a fraction of that, say it's half of a half, that's still another 2,500. So the 2,500 from your eating out and the 2,500 from your gas, that's 5,000. Take away 93. Now that's some decent math. You're sitting at 8,800, and then you keep going down. The clothes you spend, you get that money all the way down until you can either break even, or you know what I'm saying, or pay like 1,000 or 2,000 to the tax man. Now a lot of people might not like the fact of not getting a tax return or having to pay taxes, but trust me, you're winning in the long run. When you start working that overtime to make your check bigger, or even working your regular hours, they taking so much money out of your check that if you would have had that up front, you could have built more towards this. That leads me to my second jewel I'm dropping. Once you tell the federal government not to take no taxes out all year, and you already used to getting 20% of your income tax, here's another jewel. You heard of the 401k, right? The 401k is a jewel in itself. So now you got 20% of, 25%. Now you got 25%, 20% from your check, 4% from your company match. That's roughly 25% of your weekly, bi-weekly going into the stock market at a tremendous rate. It's gonna be like $200 to $300 per week going in there, tax before the government gets to tax that thing, or before anything happens, you get that in that account growing at a 7% interest yearly. Now, the reason you want to do this, a lot of people don't contribute a lot to their 401k. They like, I'm retired, so far to retire. We're not worried about the 401k retiring us. We're going to use the 401k as a banking mechanism, because you could take loans out on your retirement. Okay? Boom. $100,000. You got your lines of credit. You probably at this point got $20,000 in lines of credit right now, right? You can go to the bank and probably get another $20,000. That's $40,000 probably in year one. That's just year one. We're talking about a little 3 to 5 year game plan here. Here's what's going to elevate that a little bit further. Okay? Government no longer taking 20%. You taking that same 20%, you throwing it in the 401k with the company match. Now, your stock portfolio, and we're going to go aggressive in that portfolio, right? We ain't going to go, safe as. We're going to go Amazon, Google, Facebook. We're going to put that money to work in all them good stocks. If you don't know how to do it, leave some comments in the description below. I'll show you and tell you some things. If you don't want to do that, just call up Fidelity or whoever, Optimum, or whoever houses your 401k. Just give them boys a call and be like, yo, whatever money I got going in there, family, make that thing aggressive. I want to go in all the big boy stocks, because they ain't going nowhere no time soon. Okay? So now, since we know the 401k is not going to retire us, and we know we just trying to put as much money in that 401k as possible, the reason being is because we're going to pull that money back out once that thing start compounding and growing real fast. Like, you can definitely probably have over $10,000 in your 401k in like 8 to 9 months if you follow these steps. All right. Now, everything is going to be automated now. You got the LLC, you got the credit union, you got your lines of credit that you're not using. It's just compounding, you stacking them things up. You might be not spending as much, living below your means here, right? What I want you to start doing, I want you to holler at Zillow, Realtor.com, Redfin, and I want you to start looking at some properties, okay? We're going to start looking at some properties, and you're going to house hack. What I mean by house hack is you're going to get you a nice piece of crib, a nice house. If you can't afford it by yourself, do what I did. My first house was a house I didn't think I could afford, okay? It was worth, I bought it for $190,000. The mortgage was $1,300. At the time, I was only making $16 an hour. I didn't think I can afford $1,300 a month by myself. So I house hacked. House hacking is where you go pull that money out the 401k for your down payment. You ain't gonna have to save it or take it out your credit union, right? You're gonna play with that 401k money. Pull that joint right out and put that on a property. And once you get that property, you rent rooms out. You gonna get your motherfucking 4-bedroom, 2-bath. If you're lucky enough, a 5-bedroom, 2-bath. You live in the biggest room and you rent out to your girlfriends or your homies, and you be like, pay me $500-$600 a month, right? Even if your mortgage is like $15, $18 because you chose a great school district. You know what I'm saying? You go rent them rooms out because everybody needs a place to stay. Rent them out to cool people you get along with, you know what I'm saying? There ain't gonna be no problems. And then before you know it, you learn how to become a landlord. Okay? That'd be a second income. We'll get into that in another video down the road. But now you're starting to see the compound. Now you're starting to see how strong your foundation is gonna be. Okay? And yeah, I think I've said enough. I don't want this video to be too long. I hope y'all got some good pointers from this, but it absolutely changed my life, and I've did it for myself. I hope somebody else do it. I can't name names right now. I'm helping somebody else do it right now, take the strategy, and they seeing results immediately. Okay, and honestly, I get a lot of joy from helping people. I get, because if I believe I'm a baby genius, and I believe I discovered a unique strategy how the average working person could go from nothing to 6 figures. And I'm the only one who's doing it, and it's proven with just me. I don't feel like I'm a genius, you know? So I need it to work for other people, so it helps prove my theory, if that makes sense. But that's it. It's another episode. I hope y'all enjoyed it. I hope y'all took y'all notes on my mother and father's grave. It works. It really works. I'm telling y'all, I wouldn't put that on them like that. It works if you work it. Until next time. Blah!